The impact of impact, using data to learn. In 2009, the U.S. Department of Education invested $43 million in 28 innovative teacher residency programs across the country, including IMPACT. Now, 5 years later, we've created this infographic to share some of what we've learned about the impact of impact. Let's start with the numbers. IMPACT has prepared 144 new teachers, supported by 109 mentors across 32 schools and centers. 2/3 of these teachers are teachers of color, an extraordinary figure compared with state and national data, and a strong indicator that IMPACT grads enter diverse urban classrooms with the cultural competence they need to succeed. On standard accountability measures, IMPACT is an enormous success. All teachers passed a rigorous performance assessment. 95% of cohorts 1 and 2 are still teaching after 3 years. All of cohorts 1 and 2 math and science teachers met or exceeded the district's value-added targets. And 95% of all IMPACT teachers are working this year in a high-need urban school. But as impressive as these numbers are, they don't tell us much about the quality of teaching. For that, we need to dig deeper. The first step in understanding teaching quality is to define what it means. IMPACT looks at 4 dimensions of good teaching: academic rigor, content discourse, equitable access to content, and classroom ecology. For each dimension, we collected different types of small data: observations, logs, surveys, and artifacts. These measurement tools complement one another and help mitigate the error associated with any one measure. They also capture the concrete, specific, and everyday work of teaching, small data collected to help us learn. But what does this learning through data look like? First, the data collection stage helped focus attention on what matters, the 4 dimensions of quality teaching. Teachers who have collected log data remarked that knowing they had to document what strategies they used made them more mindful of their practice. Second, we learn through data when we spend time with it, analyzing results, looking for patterns, comparing it to our experience, and so on. We also deepen this learning when we talk with others, share notes, and get advice. And then it's in the action stage of the inquiry process that data can be used to make change, when you commit to using a new discourse strategy or classroom routine. Let's turn now to 2 examples of using data to learn. The first is about program learning and centers on the content discourse dimension of quality teaching. We collected observation, log, and mentor survey data on how well apprentices were able to promote student talk about math and science in the classroom. In 2010, a dissertation project kicked off this data collection and found that it was really challenging for apprentices to get students talking about content. The next year, teacher educators decided to be much more explicit about this expectation and taught Cohort 2 apprentices 8 high-leverage strategies, such as Think, Pair, Share, to use in their classrooms. That year, the discourse data improved. In 2012, IMPACT developed a Methods with Mentors class to ensure that the strategies were aligned in the resident classrooms. The log data collection was also made part of the Methods coursework. The next year, the data improved again. Looking inside one of the observation subdimensions, we see an increase in the students linking ideas and talking with one another. This is a great example of how IMPACT has used data to learn. The second data use example is about a teacher learning to provide equitable access to content using observation and artifact measures. This teacher, let's call him Eduardo, was observed 10 times by his faculty advisor. We'll call her Imelda. On 5 of those occasions, Imelda scored Eduardo's performance on 4 equity subdimensions. From the fall to the spring, with this constant feedback, his performance improved, especially his ability to differentiate instruction. The next year, Eduardo completed the Instructional Quality Assessment, an artifact measure that collects an assignment he gave to his students, information about this context, and a set of student work products. This artifact package was then sent out to be scored using a rubric aligned with the program, providing strong evidence that Eduardo was able to engage all learners in his classroom. CenterX is committed to using data to learn as a routine of professional practice for teacher educators, as well as novices like Eduardo. Over the next 5 years, the IMPACT program will continue to collect small data on teaching quality and use them to advance the complex work of high-quality teaching and learning in urban schools.